Skin colors and more, some are enormous, others are just subtle and dwarfs, but they all slither along on their bellies to move and leave trails in the ooze as they stealthily cruise. They're never pleasant as you'd assume. They're selfish and crude, they're all predators and consume the helpless for food. They lie in wait in the shadows of the corners of light, and then opportunistically without warning they strike. We got anacondas, the rabbits, vipers and cobras, the crates, kings, corals, death adders, pythons and boas. They take their time finishing victims, whether they squeeze them to death or inject venom directly and just leave them. They never regret anything. They're brutally smart and they hate to be exposed, so they move in the dark and then wait until you're close enough to pounce, swallow you whole and bounce, and it doesn't bother them announce they're snakes. Drastic degree, so each environment you find them in, they match to a T. With every second they're around you, you're a slow goose cooking. By the time you find them, they're gone, so there's no use looking. Evolution then took their legs, so they had to be slick. Learn to attack and disappear like a magical trick. You can find them in tight spaces, nice folded and tucked, that would normally be considered claustrophobic as fuck. They're in your mailboxes, your cupboards, pantries, and shed with your rakes. All in your closet, the boxes beneath your bed and your drapes. Under your house is the cabinet under your sink. All they want is to wreak havoc and vanish back to the brink. And no matter what you may think, they're brutally smart and they hate when you expose them, so they move in the dark and then wait until you're close enough to get swallow you whole and split, and it doesn't bother them a bit. They're snakes. Ultimate survivors from the moment they're born. They're so adaptive they even donned a whole other form. It was necessary as mankind slowly encroached in their natural habitat. They had to go for their throats, so they changed their scales into skin, fleshy and brown, black, pink, yellow, or freckled, and infected the towns. Developed vocal cords and learned to mumble then talk. Studied our ways, grew legs, and now among us they walk. They're in your